He just keeps figuring it out. I mean, like I said, he didn't have the great swing, but he could fly. That was a helping hand to get some hits. But he was able to work it out. He gets his hands inside the ball. Matter of fact, I think I can throw the ball at him, and he can still get his hands inside the ball. So, he's been able to do that for all these years now. And you see on the board, he's got 3,000 hits. He comes back from the DL, hits a home run. I mean, it's still there. But the most important thing for him now is to make sure his body is going to let him continue. And I think, that's something probably in his head right now. Is this thing going to keep lingering on, or is he going to be able to play? I tell you, I couldn't believe it. I mean, Mr. Illich pulled off one there. I didn't think he was going to pull the trigger. I thought that he would end up somewhere else, not here. But, it's a good thing. I talked to Willie Horton a lot, and, everybody's happy that he's here. I mean, we all know, especially after all the calls I got last night, that he's got some personal things he has to deal with. But at the end of the day, man, that's life. I mean, I think, it's very unfortunate that we are, quote unquote, celebrities and superstars, that we have to have all our business out in the street. But it's something that comes with the beast. I mean, you're a public figure. You're, one of the Tiger favorites, and he's going to deal with it, and he's going to be fine, because at the end of the day, man, hey, everything hurts every once in a while. You're getting a little turmoil in your life. It hurts a little bit, but you have to go forward, and he will. I think last night, Torrey said a great thing. He needs to be left alone. He's going through some personal issues. I think, as much as possible, you want that to be be the way it is. But my office has got about 10 calls already this morning for interviews. So, again, it's going to be a tough situation. Again, he's got my grandchildren involved. I know he's going to, handle this situation like a man and deal with it, and it's going to come out for the best. If you're a professional athlete, you got things going on every day. I mean, you're on the road. You come home. You got to take care of, your family. You're on the road. You got business you're taking care of while you're playing. So the stress level is there. I think this one is just a little different, especially, this kid. My son loves his kids so much. And it's going to be a little difficult, man. I mean, that's some difficult stuff. Been there, done that. But at the end of the day, you can't stop. I always say when you come out, and then I used to say this all the time when you get sit down from the big leagues to the minor leagues, no one's on the big league game, holding a sign up saying Cecil or Prince come back. I mean, they don't really care. So you as an individual, you just got to put your best foot forward and just try to handle your business the best you can. I think that's a good assessment of what it is. I mean, you get a chance to go play and enjoy yourself for 3 hours and forget a lot of things that you have to deal with when you come off the field. So at the end of the day, man, he's going to be okay. He's a big boy, and he's going to be able to handle himself. And I'm going to tell you this might, just wake him up. He hit a home run last night. Now that it's come public, he might be able to relax a little bit more and just go out there and play ball. Well, I think, the game was lacking our participation. It's good to see that these kids are out here, getting some work in and being around the foundation. And, the kid does a lot of that in other places also. But I think it's just good to see kids that are still interested. I got a young son that he don't even really know what baseball is yet, but he finally came and said he wanted to start playing. So that's a good thing. So, you always want, the kids to have their activities, whether it's baseball, basketball, football, soccer, whatever they like to do. You would just like to see them moving and having some fun. Man, we've been there, done that. I think a lot of guys, who have had lengthy careers and started playing baseball at their age and dealing with school, dealing with a lot of other things in life, you have to, I always say you learn from everything, whether it's good or bad. I have a good friend of mine who's one of the big attorneys. He said any news is good news. So if you look at it like that, I mean, whatever happens, if there's a bad situation or some adversity that you're going through, you got to look it in the eye and just say, hey, we're going to get through this and keep moving. And I think that's the lesson that these kids are going to learn as they grow up, is that, us as adults, we know things happen. We got to go through them, and we got to be able to, hold our head up and keep walking. And I think, that's one good thing that we always can give the kids, is that there's going to be times where you go through adversity, but tomorrow the sun's going to come up, and you got to keep moving. No question. Right now, he's the best hitter in the game of baseball. Miggy, hopefully his body can stay right. I think that's everybody's concern, but hands down, he's the best hitter in the game. I mean, yes, he doesn't have any body movement. It's almost like he hit a couple balls off Mariano last week. It was like it was a slow motion swing. So he is really slowing the game down a lot better than a lot of other players can do, because that was my whole thing when I played is I wanted to slow everything down, because if you do slow it down, you see it better. If you're rushing, you ain't seeing it. And I think that kid, he slows the game down. He probably doesn't hear anybody saying anything when he's at the plate. He's just totally under control. If I'd have played on a team like this, we'd have won a World Series. There's no doubt. And they're going to win them. They're going to win one. Mr. Illich one time told me, and this was a long time ago when we were kind of scuffling, he said, Cecil, the one game that I really love, I just can't get right. Well, he's got it right now, and they're going to be okay. They're going to win. Hitting behind him, no, I don't want to hit in front of him. You don't want to hit behind that guy. I think Prince has got 2 MVPs the last couple of years because he hit behind people. I'd rather hit in front of them. That, and that's what I did, when Mickey Telson came to Detroit. I mean, that helped me out tremendously because people just couldn't walk me, they couldn't pitch around me, they had to pitch to me. And I think that's what's happening with Miguel. They cannot afford to pitch around him because now not only do you have Prince, but you have Martinez. So you pick your poison. I mean, it's just pretty much like that in that middle of that lineup. It looks good. I mean, the Tigers are a great team, man. I mean, I think they got it. I mean, Scherzer has just really stepped his game up tremendously. Pitching is the key, man. If they can pitch, if Scherzer can pitch, Verlander can pitch, Fister can pitch, the young guy that pitched last night, if those guys pitch like that, they got a great chance of winning the World Series. I mean, I tell you, the teams I was on in New York, we lived and died by our pitching. And our game was set up a little different. If we could win for 6 innings, that game was over because now you got Rivera coming out of the bullpen for 2, and then you got John Wetland coming for the 9th. We win. So that's how we played our game. We needed to win 6 innings of baseball, and if we did that, our game was over. And I think these guys got a lot more offensive, firepower than a lot of other teams. But again, good pitching will stop good hitting.